Hello? Who's
To go on
home?
mine? Should I go on mine?
You're online.
Hi, Olga. How are you?
Hi. I am never better.
No, Olga, you'll be better tomorrow than you are today.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting better and better. I've never been better than right now. How are you, Tim Tobin?
I'm great. I'm really excited about tonight. It's going to be really it's going to be a great call. It was completely unexpected. Otherwise, we'd have got it out to you guys a lot sooner. But I think it's going to be great. It's even going to be a little trip down memory lane for me, but it's going to be extraordinary for a wealth of information and perspective of what it's like to be where you guys are at right now for some people who have gone through it and have become really, really successful. You've already met Pat, and she's going to be on tonight a little bit, and she knows Mike, who we're going to have on tonight, who I'm going to introduce you to. And it's very exciting that, well, I'm starting to do my training. I'm going to stop. So I'll talk to you in a bit.
All right. Awesome. Well, I'll mute myself, and good luck with the call.
Great. Olga, do you do that with a piece of tape, or what do you do?
What piece of tape?
Like you put a little plastic tape over your mouth, or do you have a mute button? What do you do?
Just a button.
Okay.
By the way, Tim, since
Yes.
we have a few minutes.
Sure.
On my phone, when I call from my cell phone, even if I mute on the cell phone, you still hear the background noise. That because I realized that last Thursday you said, what's going on? It was Tuesday. You said somebody, is making all that background noise. And I looked at my phone, I was muted, but then you somehow on your end muted me. And then I got a message saying you have been muted. So there's something about.
That wasn't very nice.
No, it's fine. There's something about muting cell phones on our end and then on your end. So keep that in mind.
I will. We're going to move to GoToMeeting anyway, and so it's just I have a lot more control there. I love Zoom, but it's more conversational without question, and so we're going to move to GoToMeeting, and because it can actually scale with us. Zoom has some difficulty scaling, and I know we're going to scale. There's great things happening here, and so it's a perfect tool for us to use, and that's what we're going to do. Cool.
All right. Okay, cool.
Tim, can you hear me?
I can.
Tim, this is Gitri. How are you?
Gitri, how are you? It's been a long time, my friend. How are you?
Good. Tim, I just had a quick question before you start do we get access to those phone calls afterwards?
Yeah, it's the top.
Absolutely. You mean like tonight?
Yeah, like for instance, tonight's call, can I go ahead and then retrieve it, or last week retrieve them?
Yeah, from here on out, what we're going to do, tonight's being recorded already, so that's it's done, and we'll take these calls, and we'll probably put them into the resource library, Gitri, and then what will happen is they'll probably cycle out maybe over a month or so when some new ones come up, but absolutely they're going to be in there.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, great to hear from you. I love it.
Hey, Tim,
right.
this
Yes.
is Michael. I'm on.
Good, Michael. I'm glad we got a good connection. I hear you really well.
Great.
Hello, this is Yulia. I'm here.
Hi, Yulia. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm starting to get packed and organized so I can move from being a Texan to a Floridian.
I didn't understand. Okay.
We're getting close, guys. Here, we'll start in a couple of minutes. Like I said, it's going to be a special call tonight. It's going to be completely different. But I got to stop myself, otherwise I start doing the call before it's time. But this is being recorded as well.
Tim, when's the move day?
I believe I'm probably going to move somewhere around the 27th. That's what I'm looking at. Mark is calling me every day trying to get me to leave the next day, but I'm like, I got to get things done. This is a big move. It's not like I got a ton to move, but I don't know, Mike, have you ever been to Miami?
I have, and it kind of excites me. The more I read about this company, I think it's going to be a perfect headquarters. I think it's a perfect area to open up too.
Yeah, it is. It is. Hang on 1 minute, guys. I'll be right back. I got to grab something. I've got little notes I want to get. Okay, guys, we're going to get started here. Let me just do a couple quick things here. First thing I want to do is kind of close everybody off for just everybody off for a second. Then I want to unleash a few people here, which is particularly that I want to do so we can have and let's give Mike 1 second, guys. Okay. Oops. Doggone, what's going on here? Okay, here we go. Now we can get started. All right, guys, welcome. This is usually what we call our Thursday night training call, and I had a very special training that I had prepared for tonight, and it just started to, as of 2 nights ago, it really started with this Maxim article, I can tell you that, because I've got a gentleman on the phone call tonight, and there's a history here with he and I, and with Pat Newland, who's on the phone call tonight. You guys have heard from Pat before. But, we have been chatting a little bit back and forth about the company and things. And one of the things about new young companies is there's got to be something special about them. Otherwise, well, they're not special. And when the Maxim magazine article came out, which is just unheard of for anybody in our industry to get, even if they're 5 years old and doing $800 million a year, they don't get this kind of press. And that's what's different about that Maxim article, is it's really something that just, it's a game changer. It's not been done before. And even the people who are consultants, people in the industry, like, how in the world? And we said, we can't explain it. We just know that we got a great thing, and they fell in love with us and they did the article. So I got a message on my Facebook page, because like we all do, I posted it, and I got a message from this guy who's on the phone call tonight, and I'll leave his background. He was like, it got his attention without question, because he was looking for something. And I'm going to give you some background on him, but that message came through to me, and then literally very quickly thereafter, I got on the phone with Mark Walker, as you guys know, our founder, and he signed up as an ambassador. He's got another ambassador already, and he sees something here, just as Pat Newland did. The hair starts to stand up on the back of your neck if you're a veteran that really gets it, and he saw that. And so as I started thinking about it more and more, I said, we need to bring this guy on, because let me give you some background. His name is Mike Williams. And let me just pull off here a little bit real quick, guys. Before I do, let me do this. people like Mike Williams and Pat Williams, Pat Williams, she's good, Pat, you're going to kill me. Pat Newland do things like this. This is what happens with those kind of people. And they were just like you. They didn't come in, the Mike Williams you're going to talk to tonight, the Pat Newland you're going to talk to tonight. They were on a call just like you tonight, like Olga, like Yulia, and like Gitri, or whoever is on the call. They were starting new, and they were like, oh, like, what do I do? How do I get going? Is something like this going to really happen to me? And it did happen to them. And they were just like you. They didn't have any previous experience, but they were excited. They liked what they were doing. And this is what happened. And it changed both their lives. So I'm going to just do some things here, guys. I'm going to pull off here a little bit. I'm going to go over here for just a second. And so I can introduce you here a little bit. Let's see if I can find it here. And here we go. Let's pull this up. This is Mike. And this is Mike Williams. That's his wife, Julie. And Mike has been written up, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Mike, you were written up in Success Magazine 3 times?
That's correct, Tim.
Okay. And he was 3 times. But to give you a little background on the story here, I met Mike for the first time when I was starting my company that you guys have heard me talk about before, which is still in business today, and we've sold over $1 billion worth of product. But it wouldn't have happened without Mike. It wouldn't happen without Pat, who's on the phone tonight. But Mike was really the first real kind of pioneering spirit distributor that I had. And when I met him for the first time, I wasn't sure. He had a black eye. I was like, wow, what's this guy? Is he a thug or what? It turns out he had been in a car accident, and I'll let him tell his story. But Mike came into that company, and Mike has been, like I said, has done some tremendous things in this industry. He's identified with this company. He's looking for another company to work with. So it's very exciting to be able to bring him on here. So I'm going to use tonight to talk about and use an analogy of what we did all those years ago when we were just starting a company, and just like you guys are on the call tonight. And, can we do it? Can it work for us? And trust me, Mike knows we had a lot less back then than what we've got with this company. But Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell your story about how you and I met, where you were at, and you could actually. I know you could spend 2 hours on it, but don't. But tell us what happened when you and I met, and how things took off, and where you were, and what happened. Because it's the same thing that's going to be happening for people on here tonight if they have what you call, and you always do call it, that pioneering spirit, because it's a different kind of person that can help launch a company. Could you share a little bit with that for us?
I'd love to, Tim. Everything has to match up, and there's so many network marketing companies out there, and rightfully so. It's the truest form of marketing, and it gives us freedom. But this product changed my life years ago, and that's all I needed. But everything else had to work. There had to be something on the inside, and Tim was it. There was no question about it. That company literally had failed twice. They brought Tim in. I knew nothing about this industry. I just knew I had something special. I got very passionate about because of what it did for my daughter. We were in a head-on collision by a drunk driver. I was literally destitute because of that. So I had nothing. But at the same time, we had nothing to show anybody. I mean, the company barely got labels on the can. Nobody was making any money yet. But I knew I had something bigger than me. And when I met Tim, yeah, he was like, who is this guy? I had an unsafe car to drive. But we pioneered from nothing, a company that failed twice. Tim on the inside, me on the outside. We pioneered from just wanting something so bad because we knew we had something so special that we learned how to do it. I mean, we were our best teachers. Of course, Tim was in this industry before, so I learned so much from him, but he had to also run the company on the inside. So, but I heard Pat Newland's coming on, and I think Austin was probably the 5th area that I was led into. And what I mean by led into, him and I was on the phone so much, but I chased the business. I'd start in an area, but people know people that know people that know people. And before I know it, I'm in Illinois and I'm in Florida, working that area, and then Austin, Texas. and actually got Pat from a pay by the day billboard. You know, I remember that day. Spent about 6 months there, but we were product driven. Now there's a lot of companies out there, a lot of companies. You know, it's the biggest creator of millionaires in the world, and I think about 80% of the women that make 6 figures a year do it in a home-based business. But, you know, a lot of them they got a great product or a good enough product. I couldn't do that. You know, I had to find something that was it, the product. And when I read that article in Maxim, and then I heard Tim had went to a company. I didn't know what it was yet. But when I read that article, I mean, you know, Tim said the other day, you know, anybody can get written up in Success Magazine. Well, not anybody, but they're really making it pretty weak now for you to get in that and a company to get in that. But back then, no. And but anyway, when I heard Tim's involved, I knew that he has found something. And he immediately got me on the phone with Mark and Rod, the COO, the CEO, and that did it for me. I mean, I'm getting my products tomorrow, but I've done enough research to know. I've been in this industry long enough to know the purity of the formula, the balance of the formula. This was it. We found our next empire. And then when I talked with Tim some more, and I know he has looked and looked and looked, and just to be on the beginning of a new company that I do believe is going to be $1 billion a year company. I do. I just wouldn't do it again. I can't. So yeah, the product's coming tomorrow. I'm going to put it to its fullest test, that's for sure. But just the research, I've done enough to know, and as long as I've been in nutrition, we have a gold mine.
Well, Mike, and I'm going to jump in here a little bit because there's a couple things I want to talk about, because this perspective, and I'm going to bring Pat in here in a second too. What I want you guys to understand, you're new ambassadors, just remember that Mark and Pat were both just like you guys on a phone call listening one day. And we didn't have a Pat and a Mike who were kind of legends in our industry for what they've done and accomplished and their experience. We were on our own, but we believed in what we were doing. We had a burning desire to succeed. We wanted to make something happen, and we did. We had a good product. For what was going on in the late 1980s, we had a great product. And so now that evolution, well, Pat, myself, Mike, all of us have evolved through taking different nutritional products to the product that Mark has got. He's led us to a new level completely. But one of the most important things I can tell you guys, and why I want to bring these two on here tonight, is because there's a reason that both Mike and Pat are joining another company. Because if that company would have had leadership like Mark, okay, and the people that Mark's brought on the inside, the principals of the company, the people that are helping to get it going, they wouldn't have had to do this again. Because that company would have had uncompromising standard in its products, which this one didn't go to. That company would have had a management person that wanted to be a global company that would never got comfortable. And that's what happened to that company. That management got comfortable, and that will stifle your growth. It's over when that happens. And that happened to Pat, and that happened to Mike, and that's not going to happen to you because of Mark Wachter. I can tell you, there's nothing going to stop him from going on. It's so critical to understand that one piece, that when people talk about the companies they want to go to, oh, they're at this company, they got this leader, it's a special person, it's a special breed that has the vision to be one of those top companies, that wants to be on the top of the top list in what we call the DSA 100, which we were on the DSA 100 for some 20 years, and Pat helped put it there, and Mike working with me in the corporate side, and we learned how to really put a process together so that we could work with you guys and help you build your business. And the good news is, we know how to do it even better now. So even though we were making mistakes before, we were setting records on sales. And now we know how to do it. And we got some great people coming on. And one of the things I always talk about, the wonderful thing about companies like this, when they're special, is there tends to be a coalescence of talent that starts to show up. And I'm seeing that coalescence of talents. I'm seeing it in new people, like Olga, like Yulia, like Chad. There's so many. I don't want to miss it. Tiffany, my goodness, so many people. And then you've got Mike, and you've got Pat. And this, I want to bring Pat in here because, you know, Pat came in after Mike and I had been going for a while when we started getting Austin going. And Pat came in, and Pat had a big first month. But the thing was, she was inspired by seeing this young guy, Mike Williams, making this money. And that's when Pat came in and did her thing. And she shouldn't have to be doing this again, because if it would have been done right, it would have lasted her a lifetime. But Pat, why don't you come on in and share when you jumped in? And because people need to hear these stories, because they're real and they really do. I mean, it's so real. I guess I can't say any different than that. Pat, would you kind of share where you came in on this?
Well, I think I came in a lot earlier than I realized I was coming in, because you guys kind of fluffed it up for me. But regardless, Mike Williams led me down the rosy path to making 10 grand my first month in the business. And I would never have aspired to that. I would have been never have attempted that. But working together, and I didn't even realize I was working, we created a wonderful income story for me, which is one of the most incredible things you can do in this industry, is create your own financial story when you first get started. And Mike and Tim were really instrumental in structuring that for me. I was so new, I didn't realize what they were doing. But it really set me up, because if you think I was going to quit after making $10,000 my first month, that wasn't going to happen. I don't care what happened to the company. I was going to be there working. And, you know, I didn't make $10,000 my second month, but within the year, I was making a strong 6-figure income. And you know, this is what I like to tell people. Once you give somebody an extra $200 a month or an extra $400 a month, they aren't willing to give that up the next month. So you just have to build on that. And Mike and Tim taught me how to do that, and how to just go out and build this company and be committed and have the conviction of the wall of belief of the products and everything in the company. And when I saw Live Ultimate, I knew what we had. And I just want to give my hats off to everybody out there, because I'm watching the sponsorship and the people that are taking action. And Aaron, I see you on there, and you've been rocking it, dude. And Olga and Melise and all the new people, and Tiffany, you know, I don't want to miss anybody either, but I watch all that, and you guys are doing it. You're doing it. And this is what it takes, is massive action. And you got to keep bringing people in until you find your own Mike Williams or your own Pat Newland. And then you know, that person can make you a couple $100,000 a year. And it's a really exciting time in your business life to find that person. And chances are anybody on this call has not found that person yet. But you're going to quit today, when tomorrow that person might be the person that you're going to talk to. So, you know, you can start where we're starting here today, Mike and I, with what we started with 28 years ago. It's literally night and day, because we have such strong leadership and such strong products that this company only has one way to go, and it's just great to the top. And let me just repeat something Tim said. You know, if you're happy in a company, and the company is managing it right, and they're managing your money right, and they're managing the products right, and they're getting products to your customers, and everything's going smoothly, you don't leave. You would never leave that opportunity. And so it's all about keeping everybody engaged on every single level, whether it's financial or product level, health driven results, or money in the bank. You keep everybody happy, and you will never lose them as an ambassador. In fact, they can't help but help you grow your business, because they can't help themselves they have to talk about the results they've gotten, either financially or with the product. So what we have here is light years beyond what we had 28 years ago, but the basics are the same. The basics are the same, no matter what you say. I don't care about all the social media you can do. What does that do? Listen, I'm so excited about Gabrielle's call last night. I know I'm going too long, Tim, but I want to make this point that Gabrielle gave us so much information. It was amazing. But what does any person you get from social media, what do you do with that person? Now you go back to the basics. You've got to build a relationship with them. You've got to talk to them. Social media is simply one more tool in your belt, one more way to build your business. And you can't just expect to throw things on Instagram and throw things on Facebook and think that's going to build your business. What you're looking for is a response. You need somebody to stick their head up and say, wow, I like that post. And you should be doing cartwheels, because now you got somebody to talk to. So use everything that we have in our arsenal to help you build your business. And social media just happens to be the hottest way to do it right now. And it's an incredible opportunity to get people that you wouldn't have gotten in otherwise. But then you got to go back to the basics and work the plan with the new people. So I know I got way off track, but I really wanted to say that.
No, that's not off track at all, Pat. You're telling everybody. It's like, use the social media, but pull them back down, and it's belly to belly, eyeball to eyeball, and that's where it should be, because that's where you build the relationships. That's where you build the business. In fact, you and Mike have just kind of opened me up there. I've been writing notes like crazy while you two were talking, and they're all over the place. So I hope I don't get too discombobulated here. But I want to nail down some points for you guys here. I want you to write down three things: activity, volume, momentum. And I want you to understand what they are and how they're different. Activity, volume, and momentum. I was even going to go into the compensation plan tonight and show you some of this, but I'm going to have to get it for the other night because we got so much to cover here with these guys. But your activity level determines first the volume you start to see, and then ultimately momentum. So if there's anything going on that's not enough for you, you need to up your activity level. And one of the guys that got the highest activity level I ever saw in my life was two guys. One was Mark Hughes, who was the founder of Herbalife. The other one was Mike Williams, who's sitting here in front of you, and Pat was right in there. And because they kept raising their activity level. And here's what's important to understand about that. You seem to start to say, well, how many people am I going through to get to where I want to go? That's not what you should be concentrating on, because there's plenty of people to talk to. There's 9 billion people on the planet. We're going to be going there internationally. It's how much time does it take you to get to this freedom and elite status? And both these two people on the phone, within a year, were on their way. If they'd have looked at how many people I've got to talk to and concentrated on the no's, I doubt either one of them would have made it. But what they were looking at is, what time do I have to put in to get myself to be a success? And within a year, they were becoming elite income earners. And that takes me to the next thing I want to talk to you about. We talked about activity, volume, momentum. Now we're going to talk about the types of incomes. There's 3 types of incomes in here that I want you guys to concentrate. There's a great part-time income for people here, and you shouldn't shy away from that. It's a huge part of your business is people out there making $500, $1,000, $1,500 a month part-time. We've already got people doing that part-time in this company. Then there becomes what I call full-time. Now, there's more people part-time, right? Then there's another group that's full-time that's less than by numbers than that other group, but they're full-time. They've got enough money to pay their house payments, car payments, and build their business, and they're after it. And they have freedom. No boss. Nobody telling you what to do with your time. It's your time now. You make the decisions. And if you ever get addicted to that, good, because it's freedom is what you want. And then lastly, there's a lead income, okay? And I'm never going to hesitate to call it a lead, because you're not going to get to the kind of income that Mike did and that Pat did unless you do the things that those two did. And look, neither one of those two, when they came in here, thought they were that special. They just knew that they had a desire to do something, and they were willing to follow the process that I was laid out to them by me, that was shared with me by other people. I've added to it myself over the years, but a lot of that was shared, 80, 90% of it was shared to me with other people. And that elite income is there. Here's the great thing about our elite group of incomes and people like Pat, and people like Mike and Julie here that you see. Everybody's invited. Everybody on this phone call is invited to be a part of that elite group. It's your choice. It's your choice. Mike was destitute. Pat was just looking for some place to hang out because she didn't want some friends. And it changed their lives. And then they changed other people's lives. And it rippled across the globe. I remember the first time I went to Australia, we'd opened up in Australia, and it said, "Welcome, Tim Tobin," on top of the hotel. I was like, this is just nuts. Because there was just 3 of us around a coffee table talking about doing this one day. And then we had little calls like we're doing here tonight. And then it happened. And then to take it even a step further, when you talk about this elite stuff, so we know part-time, we know full-time. For the elite stuff, let's talk about what happened to Mike. And Mike, I don't want you to be, don't be shy about this, and not that you are a shy guy anyway, but I want you to tell them the amount of income, if you're okay with it, that you earned in this industry, in the plan that you and I work together with you, working with me in corporate, working with the training that I show people every single week that they're seeing here, actually less than what they have right now, and a less company, but what you were able to achieve financially, and the number of people I think you had your downline. I don't know if you remember these things or you could share these. Would you do that?
Yeah, Tim, and I was destitute. I had an unsafe car to drive. You didn't even think I would make it. I did. It was impossible.
I did. And just before you even go into this, I want to tell everybody on here, I was not enamored with Mike. And I'll be honest with it, because but another guy that I knew, and both Mike and I know, who's since passed, was a friend of ours. His name was Eddie. We called him the Hawk. He said, "This is your guy." And I said, "I don't get it." He said, "No, I'm telling you, this is your guy." He says, "But I can't deal with him. He's a lot to deal with." He says, "You got to deal with him." I said, "All right, I'll do it, but I'm not buying into it." And I'd there'd be other people working in the business, and all of a sudden people would have, 10 or 12 people, and I'd come and see him. When Mike said he wanted me to come see him, he'd have 200. And I was starting to get, okay, maybe the Hawk was right. This is the guy. And he was right. So go ahead, Mike.
Well, again, my income got up to $75,000 a month. Even though everybody was in my downline, I had people making $125,000 a month. And guys, Tim knew this should have been $1 billion a year company. I was broke at 30, at 34 and a half. I literally retired. I was making $50,000 a month. I built it so deep, even in my retirement, it got up to $75,000 a month. But here's the deal. Pat mentioned the basics, and I could use so many stories. Chicago, Tom Moody. Tom never was in this industry. He was kind of in corporate, raised money for the company and all that, blah, blah. But he had no lifestyle. You got to go to work every day. If you don't go to work, you don't get paid. And he had an aunt that had probably the worst case of psoriasis, a walking scab. It was terrible. She had no hair. I said, "Tom, what if? Let's get it." And it takes a little work to get that emotional tie, just like it did Pat. I remember the day I'm sitting there with Michelle Gates, with Pat Newland. She was in a terrible accident. She had a halo cast, not at that time, but she had terrible headache. I said, "Pat, what if? What if it changes her life?" See, it's not what you say, it's how you feel about what you say. It's not about this destitute guy anymore that has no money. It's about, what did this product do for you? What did it do for somebody that you care about, that you knew, they knew, and everybody else knows it's not going to get better? We built emotional ties. People became advocates of what we had. And that's how I got billionaires in my organization. I remember going to California, Pat. We had Roscoe Tanner. He was in the new Guinness World Book of Records. This product changed his life. But we continued that effort. And people come into the business because of what they had. So there's a lot of Me Too companies of literally people becoming multi-millionaires. Guys, I'm not that good. What I'm good at is the product I have. I've done my due diligence. And I am going to go back to the basics to build this company. We're going to have people that talk from their heart. Let me tell you what this has done for my mother. Let me tell you one more time. And people listen. And what if? I mean, I was away from my children. I would tell people, look at me. I'm away from my wife, my young children. I'm spending money here. I'm going to be here for 6 months. What, I look stupid? What if this product changes people's lives? Then we have a gold mine, a literally gold mine. People are making huge monies just on CBC oil, and there's 2,000 of them. You know, I'm glad this company has a CBC oil because it's awesome, CBD oil, because it's awesome. And I know this one's going to be better, but they have all the other things that go with it. But people are making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a month on CBD oil, and there's 2,000 companies out there. Guys, we have a gold mine. Get an emotional tie. Go to your mother. Mom, you're not getting better. And everything you're taking out of that pill bottle is not going to make you better. Do this for me because I love you. It's not what you say, it's how you feel about what you say. I need you. I need your testimony. I need this to come out of everything that's inside me. So you get them on the product, you make sure they take it, you follow up with them. How hard is that? And then you create it. I created emotional ties in every top distributor I ever had. You know, so this is going to be the same way for me. I know it. It's after talking with Tim and Mark, oh my gosh. This man is a walking passion of what he's doing. I mean, he has reason to do what he's doing. He don't need to do it. I mean, my gosh, the money this man's probably already put in and what he's going to have to put in to start a company like the companies today. I mean, they're bringing in hedge funds now. You know, he's very passionate about making a difference in people's lives. So get that passion, get that emotional tie. Nothing will stop you. You know, you'll be your best teacher once you get that emotional tie. You know, what should I have said? What could I have said? You know, did I care enough about them to tell them what they needed to hear? Pat, I won't even tell people on this phone what I would not let you do till you hit presidential director. Remember that? She's not going to say anything.
I was muted.
Go ahead, Pat.
I put a restriction on Pat that I would not let her do something until she hit presidential director. And I worked very closely with Pat and 2 other lines there. You know, I just didn't have one. You know, so guys, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not about you. Right now, some of you might be in financial situations where things are overwhelming. It's all about you. I understand that. Believe me. But understand, in an industry that's so huge and nothing has come around since, nothing, since what Tim and I and Pat's on the phone that we've done. And it's here now. So I'm going to ride this bull and I'm going to finish it. I'm going to stay on it. And, you know, I'm very thankful to be here.
Michael, thank you so much. And Pat, I'm going to bring you back in again, too, because he called you out. So we got to get you back in here a little bit, too. But, guys, it's so important to understand that this will work, and it will work for you. Pat and Mike were just like you guys on the phone. It's the number one thing I wanted to hear. But the thing that you hear consistently in Mike and in Pat is how much that emotion, that care that they do, that they really get after it and they transfer that to the people they're with, and they work it. And they work it in such a way that it's fun. you're having fun with it, and it's really good stuff. So Pat, I'm going to let you come in here, you know, and kind of finish up from where you're at, and we'll kind of move on from there.
Okay, well, you know what I want to say. The reason it's fun, it's because it's your money. The harder you work, the more money you make. And listen, that's fun for me because you guys know I like to travel. And so I don't mind getting, there were times I got up at 5:30 in the morning, have my nose pressed against the gym door because I had to be in my office by 8 o'clock. Did anybody else know I was in my office at 8 o'clock? No, because I worked from home, but I knew, and I didn't want to have to get fired. And so I knew because this was my business. This was my money. And the harder I worked, the more money I made and the more people I helped. So let me tell you, I know so many of you are health coaches and life coaches and you love this product and what it's doing for people. Trust me, I have been sharing my passion about nutrition for longer than I've been in network marketing. And I am one of these that I can't keep a secret. I have to tell everybody everything. So don't think that I don't want to help people and I want to help them improve their lives. But that's why I talk about my wall of belief is so strong. My conviction is so strong that nobody's going to chip away at that. But all of that allows me to have a wall of belief and conviction about the financial opportunity here. And guys, this is your business. This is Mark just set it up and he's at the top of the pile. But guys, this is our business and you can go out there and you can make it as big as you want it to be. And I think that's the very most exciting thing. You know, I'm a school teacher by education and I was passionate about it. And I was an awesome school teacher. We had more fun in my class. I guarantee you, we learned Shakespeare and English like no one else ever did. But no matter how good I was, I didn't get paid $1 extra. Because I couldn't get paid $1 extra. So now I can take that same passion and belief and conviction and work ethic and creativity and put it in to Live Ultimate. And I can reap the rewards. But guess what? I can't reap rewards unless my group is reaping rewards. So it's the group effort together that we all win. But it's the inspiration that you have as the leader to go out there and build this company, build your team, because guys, this is your business. This is your time. 2019 is rocking. It is absolutely rocking for Live Ultimate. And we have a lot of new things coming along that are going to really help your business explode. So, you know, fasten your seatbelt. I'm excited.
Fantastic. Thank you, Pat. Yes. Look, I hope you guys are enjoying this tonight because this is really, this is as true a story as it gets. I mean, this is really literally, if we were to wind ourselves back, we are you guys sitting around the call tonight listening in. That's who we are. We did the same thing as you guys. Could this happen to me? What would it be like if it happens to me? Will it happen to me? And and that's why I say in the trainings when I have, and I always go back to that training because that training that I show you guys is deeper than you guys realize that it is. And the more you start listening to it, the more you're going to start to understand that you've got to internalize it because it's just, it's so good. And that's the training that made Mike Williams who she is, and they had to inject themselves in it, and Pat Williams who she is, and me who I am, and so many others. It's changed the industry, and it seems simple, but it's not. It's a simple business, but it's not easy. You have to work on yourself, and you got to start to transform. The Mike Williams that you're looking at here, the Pat Milling you're hearing from tonight, they're the same person, but they're much more of that person. And so that's one of the values I want to share with you guys. Beyond the fact that you have that there is extraordinary income, and that's a great measuring stick because it tells you if somebody over here says they care more about about getting people going and helping them in the business, and the other person, they say, well, that person only cares about money, but they're making, 20 times the money, guess what? The person who's making 20 times the money is helping 20 times the people that the other person is. So get a clue onto what it is. It's a measuring stick of your success in helping people. And then beyond that, it gives you great value in your life. And what we do here is we don't just talk about the money, but we talk about the capacity for how you will enjoy that money so that it doesn't become everything, so that you don't get askew, that it balances your life, and it makes everything better. Because for us, it's about lifestyle. It's the whole thing, guys. And that's what you'll get here. So I thought it was just an extraordinary opportunity to share with you guys tonight. It was totally out of left field that it came about. It's phenomenal that we had Pat show up. You know, I told you the talent shows up. Like all of you young people that are out there are newbies to the business, I'm seeing enormous talent. I see talent in you guys, and I know Pat does, and Mike will see it and go, these guys are better than we were. So God, imagine what can happen for you guys. You got better products, you got a better system, you got a greater leader, and you can do more than what you've heard tonight. And these are extraordinary stories, but they're real. These are real people. And you guys have met Pat, and if you haven't, you're going to meet her down in Florida, and you will meet Mike eventually. And so just understand, this is just an extraordinary opportunity for me to pull the veil back and show you real story, real history in this industry of what happened with the company that didn't have anything close to what you guys have got as far as product, management, backers, the people that are there, the absolute brand that it is, the beauty of the whole thing. I mean, it's extraordinary. And there's one last thing that I want to just throw in here before, because I'm going to start in these next calls, I'm going to start to really get into the compensation system to show you the power of why these guys are doing some of the extraordinary things that they're doing. But there's a new era out there now, guys, and we have designed something here with our compensation plan that will protect your business, because there's a lot of companies out there that will try to make it look simpler to you, and they'll whisper in your ear and tell you how pretty you are and you should do this one over here and stuff. And what they're doing is something that won't last, because they're not going to put up with people out there doing some of these other companies anymore. Guys, they're going to shut them down. And if you build a business and you've got it out there 5 years and you're going great, and all of a sudden, my God, look what I've got, and then all of a sudden somebody shuts it down, don't ever take the short way around it. This company is disciplined. It's got everything in place, and that's why it will be, I think, that next great company. My first mark was Mark Hughes at Herbalife. It became a $6 billion global concern with a stock market cap of $8 billion. And all of a sudden here I run into my second mark. The first was a mark with a K, and this is a mark with a C on the end. And I see so much the same kind of something special in both of them. There's a sense of destiny in them. And Mark has that. And I can tell you that I know with being, I just feel so comfortable. And that doesn't happen to me very often. Many times when I get with a company or consult with it, I'm trying to get these guys to figure out what it takes to be something they can't be. Mark was born with something very, very special here. He's a great, great leader. And it's this vision that he has. I know that he's going to want to go global with this thing. He'll never stop to shut this thing down. He's not looking to sell it to anybody else. He's looking to build a lifestyle, and all these relationships that you have, how could you walk away from them? You can't. It's the most special thing. Yes, but we're going to have relationships. We're going to be seeing each other in different ports all around the world, conventions and things that we're going to do. I promise you, it will be an extraordinary lifestyle. So I hope that this helped in sharing some things with you guys tonight. There'll be lots more times to be able to talk with Pat, with Mike. Ordinarily, sometimes I would let you guys ask some questions. I just don't think tonight's right for that. We're already at almost 45 minutes. But these guys are available by phone. You can talk to them personally. You don't need to ask them here tonight. You can call them up, talk to them, share things. Mike's more than happy. He's got his own group that he's doing, but he's more than happy. He's an ambassador just like you. He's more than happy to help you guys, and Pat will as well. So please take this call for what it was, guys, to really show you something that was absolutely it's a fact. It's a history lesson that you guys got tonight about what can happen here in the future for this company and beyond. Because I think this one, without question, Mike sees it, Pat sees it. This could be one of the really, really great ones, and that's why we're here. So, guys, great call. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Mike. You guys, thank you guys for being on the call tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, have a great evening.
Good night.
Good night. What a blessing.